Hi, good morning. Thanks for joining me. Let's get right to it. We have a lot of stuff to cover today. First thing I want to talk about was Monday's first Monday in May, the Met Ball, the winners and the losers. Winner, as always, Anna Wintour. Not only was she absolutely one of the best dressed at her own gala, she runs a tight ship, as I've said a million times. This year, unlike other years where you always went to Entertainment News to get your red carpet. I actually watched it on the on YouTube on Vogue's streaming live on YouTube, and fantastic production really made me appreciate or you can see it with your own eyes, how well coordinated the whole thing is. I mean, from the tuxedoed and elegantly clad Vogue staff that shepherd people in front of photographers and up and down the stairs. Wow, what a fantastic job. And there was very often this whole shot of the stair and everything that was happening in the front of the green and white carpet, all the way up the stairs. It was just beautiful. Once again, it shows you what a tight ship Anna Wintour runs. Really enjoyed it. Great show. To me, the winner of the night was In From the Cold, John Galliano. Um, Viewers may recall about maybe 10 years ago, he was kind of blackballed. Well, more than kind of blackballed, he was blackballed because of a drunken rant he went on at some Paris bistro that had a lot of incendiary language, and, it was really a drunken rant. I mean, the guy was an idiot and was kind of blackballed. But he did have a true friend. I think Anna Wintour always kind of stood behind him, which, boy, in a big way, he's out, like I said, In From the Cold on this show. He dressed most of the major people, and his clothes were just elegant and beautiful because he is a prodigious talent. So it was kind of nice to see him back. Nice to see that a talent like his was not squashed and removed based upon a stupid drunken rant, which I'm sure he regretted. And I don't think Anna Wintour would be backing him like she has if he didn't regret it. So anyway, he was fantastic. Loved to see him, and so that was really one of the bright spots. Another bright spot, kind of really unexpected in my mind, was Mindy Kaling. Now, Mindy Kaling is inarguably super bright, super talented. She's a creator. She creates funny, great TV shows. Um, she's more known for her intellect than she is for her fashion sense. Well, let me tell you, she changed a lot of minds on Monday. She really um, wore a editorial gown that was on point for the theme of the ball, and she looked fantastic. Another person who got a big kick out of, I love him, Andy Cohen. Nobody had more fun than Andy Cohen ascending those stairs with Sarah Jessica Parker. Um, he was fun to see, and fun to see him having such a good time. And I'm trying to think who else did I think was absolutely fabulous. Well, if I'll come back to it if I come up with it. Okay, season finale of Vanderpump Rules, for all intents and purposes, looked like a series finale, and gosh, in my mind, that kind of where it might end up. They've got to, this Ariana Tom Sandoval standoff business has got to end. I mean, it's just boring. Who cares? Who really cares? And I know this is my unpopular opinion, but Ariana's career is taking off. If she doesn't want to film with Tom Sandoval, and she's announced to one and all that they cannot be her friends if they are friendly with him. Really, kind of high school stuff, even junior high stuff. Move on, Ariana. You've got other things going on in your career. God love you. Not the least of which is that sandwich shop, which apparently finally opened. And true to form with these two, Ariana and Katie Maloney, there is controversy with the actual creator of the sandwiches, the holder of the trademark, the restaurateur expert that, in this case, Lisa Vanderpump had recommended to the girls. Lisa Vanderpump didn't have anything to do with the sandwich shop, but this woman did. So once again, they mismanaged. The girls mismanaged what they needed to do, and I'm kind of sick of hearing their or seeing their angry faces. And I've had it, and plus then there's the other two, the absolutely, oh my God, I can't lose this job because I've wrapped my whole life around it. Sheena Shea and Lala Kent. Neither of them have a career other than being on a television show, which is a little long in the tooth. It's 10 years old. It's kind of run its course. And now they are scrambling. I actually read something yesterday that Lala Kent's people put out there that she is in negotiations to join the Valley, as though they really need her. They don't need her. One of the appeal of the Valley is the fact that these are not grizzled vets in front of a camera who know how to play to the camera and hide what's really going on in the background in order to appear XYZ on the camera. Who cares? Who cares anymore, Lala? Who cares anymore, Sheena Shea? Sorry, it's time to, you know, yeah, I'm stumbling over that one. Sorry, but it's time to move on. Curious to see how the reunion goes. The reunion is allegedly what led to production saying, okay, we're going to put this, we're not going to pick up the cameras like we usually do in the summertime. We're going to put it on pause for a while. And I can't help but think it is somebody, I don't know, are they the same producers? Are they the same producers for The Valley and Vanderpump Rules? I'm not sure. Because they may be seeing, is there room for any of the old Vanderpump Rules cast to appear on The Valley? Don't know, but all I'm asking is don't screw up The Valley because there is some realness there. And so far, so good on that one. So, what else happened? I think we had, yeah, didn't we have a Britney Spears situation? Such a sad situation. When they took away the conservatorship as somebody who could control her money and some of her behavior, unfortunately, what was not considered by the courts is the fact that Brittany is probably, and I've never heard the diagnosis, what her diagnosis is. Don't know if it's ever been published. In all likelihood, with those massive swings of up and down, I would say it's bipolar. And she got herself into another incident. She's again aligned herself with someone who's probably not the best thing in the world for her. I think it was a maintenance worker on her main residence, if I have that right. And they got into some kind of fracas in a hotel, and the police had to be called. And she came wandering out with just no top on, hugging a pillow. She evidently damaged her foot, and then she took a lot of glee and showing how her severely bruised and swollen foot was getting worse by the day. She did this on Instagram. So the whole thing is just a mess. And I wish there was somebody that she would trust or could gain her trust and help her because it's really it's really hard to see on camera. Not on camera, on Instagram or any social media what's going on with that poor kid. So anyway, okay. Well, this was a little bright spot. Ordinarily, I don't talk politics, but I think this woman is a clown. The Marjorie Taylor Green of the world. Thank you, Congress, for coming together and understanding what your problem is. Your problem are these crazy little Marjorie Taylor Greens who are able to stop everything. And Congress actually worked together to shut her down. Good for you. Good work. I also just read something in a headline before I came on today about how Rupert Murdoch, aka Logan Roy, really was kind of behind Marjorie Taylor Greene not getting the backing that they got when they ousted the other one earlier this year. I can picture him. I can't remember his name though. And so the basis of the article was is Rupert, even though he is the chairman of emeritus now, he still has a tremendous amount of power, like Logan Roy, in the Republican Party. And once Rupert has a screaming headline on the New York Post of Moscow Marjorie, it's got to be a death knell. And in truth, Rupert was absolutely right with that headline. Anything that she pulls like that, she plays right into Putin's hands. That's my opinion. If you don't agree with it, good. Give me your 2 cents in the comments. I'd love to hear what you have to say. So, another thing that happened was I just read that this morning that Bravo put out an announcement that after an investigation, Andy Cohen has been absolutely, completely cleared from the accusations from the Brandy Glanville and Leah McSweeney's have leveled against Sandy. Those two, Brandy Glanville and Leah McSweeney, were absolutely two booze hounds who played to being a booze hound. They loved the attention they got from being messy drunks. And then when they had run their course, similar to where our little girls Sheena and Lala have done, they decided to blame everybody but themselves for their ouster. Specifically, they blamed Andy Cohen as being somehow the malevolent force behind their ouster. Not even close, was cleared, and they need to get themselves some help. They need to well, anyway, that's all I'll say on Leah McSweeney and Brandy Glanville. What another little strange little news story? RFK, who's running for president. The jury's still out. Is he going to be pulling from Trump voters? Is he going to be pulling from Biden voters? No one quite knows. I definitely say he's probably got the some sort of radical vote, but strange little news story. Apparently, 10 years ago or so, when he was going through a contentious divorce, one that I believe ended with, well, we won't go into that until I know it for sure, but it didn't end well. He cited in his divorce papers that he was not himself because he had a worm in his brain that had eaten a part of his brain and that had since died, and it was causing behavioral issues with him. In other words, gee, I was a great guy until the worm got in my brain and started eating it. Hmm. Boy, those Kennedys are delightful, aren't they? Come, they come up with the best stuff, but the brain worm eating dying thing is in a league of its own. Other little thing that I read that I thought was very good news is we're going to totally change tracks here. Is with Sister Wives that the way that they've been paid over the years, which is again the way these polygamists are able to control these women is by the men controlling all the money, and the women have no way of earning money. They don't have access to their own money. They are financially dependent upon these on the patriarchy because that's the way that business model polygamy works. It can only work if the man is controlling the money, thereby controlling everything else. So I always thought with the show, gee, I don't know why it took so long for these women to come up with this, but they should have been demanding their own paycheck. But apparently, TLC was paying into an LLC that the four wives and Cody Brown were all members of. Now, who had the most say on what money was spent? I don't know, but I do know from watching the show that the dissolution of this fraud of happiness was it led to the dissolution of these relationships was the fact that most of the money was going to allegedly the favorite wife. In fact, she had herself parked in a million and a half, $1.5 million house, while Janelle, the woman who gave him 6 children, was living in a rented apartment, and there was a while there for a year or so she was living in a trailer. So, yeah, rightfully so. These women finally wised up, and I read that Janelle, the one who was living in the trailer, will now going forward have be paid separately by TLC. She's got a separate contract with TLC. And I believe, you've got to believe Christine has done the same thing. I mean, Christine's actually gotten herself married. She and her husband own a couple of homes, one of which they put out on a B2B. And, she advertises on Instagram the availability and of her B2B, and obviously she's smart enough to control her own money now. Janelle is controlling her own money. I can't imagine that Mary's not controlling her own money. She was always a sore spot with the women because the other women all had multiple children, 5 or 6 children, whereas Mary only had the one girl. So the other wives with the multiple children were like, why is she getting the same amount of money as me, when they were divvying it up? And God, just a mess, a mess, a mess. Which, if this could be a lesson to any of you young gals out there, control your own money. Get credit in your own name, open checking accounts in your own name, take a loan out in your own name, pay it back, develop that credit rating. Um, Anybody that in this day and age, you just have to do it. Please, please, please. So anyway, that was good news. Janelle finally wised up. It only took her 30 years to get her own money. So what else do we have here? Brainworms. Great story. And okay, I think that's going to be it. I'll just say one little thing. I saw it on the news today. I thought it was hilarious. Evidently, in China, they had some some, I don't know if it was a zoo or what, that didn't have any pandas, so they took themselves some chow dogs, which are these big puffy dogs, and they painted them. They dyed their fur to look just like little pandas, and they are just entirely cute, and apparently a lot of people in China were very upset about that. I think they clearly were telling people these are dogs. I don't know what they're so upset about. So anyway, that's all that I have on my little list here today. And as always, if you've stuck in with me long enough, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. This is what YouTube uses to find out where I belong, which, let's face it, my subjects are all over the place, but I appreciate any support that you can give me there. Again, thank you so much. Have a great day, and I will talk